Canva is a very different than Google Slides. If you've never messed with Canva at all, there are a lot more design features on Canva than there are on Google Slides. So Canva has a premium free educator version. So there are access to tons of fonts that are premium quality, tons of pictures that are premium quality, elements, all kinds of things that you will get for free as a teacher. They're really big on providing that service to teachers. And then your students will also get a free account as well, as long as they use their Walker School's email address. So they can also log in and use all of those features and manipulate the platform as well. So with Canva, you're gonna see when you log in, there are tons of templates, tons of fonts. You can do pretty much any design you can think of on Canva. They also have included extensions. So all of these websites that you use on a daily basis, like YouTube, Google Drive, Bitmoji, some people are really big with that. All of the big things, QR codes, instantly, easily accessible through Canva. Whereas with Google Slides, you would have to download those extensions or go to another website, then download it, then upload it to Google Slides. So this is just really easily accessible for you on Canva. I would prefer Canva to design my slides and then Google Slides to actually present it to my kids. I'm going to show you how to do that. But actually, for the first few minutes, I just want you to go ahead and play around with Canva. Because I feel like at first, if we don't play around with it, it's really difficult or it seems overwhelming when I just go straight into all of the more advanced features. So go ahead and go on Canva and just kind of play around with the fonts and the templates and just kind of play around with it. And we'll reconvene in like 5-ish minutes or so. Okay, so now that you've had some time to kind of play around or create an account, we're going to go ahead and move on to some features that are not necessarily super advanced, but they're just features that I think you should know as a teacher because you can use them regularly. Okay, so this first feature that I'm going to show you all is called crowdsource. So I have my presentation up here, but we are going to crowdsource, which means that I'm going to go down here, press this button, and start new session. So if you'll open up a new tab, or you can go on your phone even, go to canva.live. So I would do this on a new tab. Canva.live. Then you're going to enter in the code 908331. So that will be 908331. Okay. So what this should do is you should see a place where you can type in your answer. Sure. Yeah. So I want you to just type in, we're going to pretend like we're using this in a classroom setting. Why does design matter? So type in your answer. You can submit multiple answers. It's really kind of hard for you all to see. On my computer, I have them as well. Now, you might have noticed on this feature, there is an anonymous submission option. And as a student, naturally, anytime I can submit anonymously, students are going to take that opportunity to probably show out or be a goofball. So what you do is you have them really, really small over here, but you can choose to display bigger the feature that you want to display. So if I liked Julie Shaw's answer, then I could just display her answers for the whole class to see. For me, as a language arts teacher, I will have a question asked. I will have students reply to the question, and the answers that I like, I will display larger. And I'll be like, oh, I really like how Ms. Shaw put her punctuation in this sentence, or oh, I really like how she used this fanboy, or whatever it might be. So I also use this with short stories to engage students. And also sometimes I like that it has the anonymous feature. Sometimes I actually tell kids to leave it anonymous. So that way when they type their answer in, when I display it, it doesn't bring attention to them at all. I can easily just display something and I can be like, this person did a really good job. Or I can say, what could this person correct in their response? So I really like this feature and it helps give data. A lot of times when I am presenting, I will have these random just side conversations that are really beneficial to students that come up, but I haven't put them in my prepared presentation. So this is another way for me to ask those questions as well. And you can have this going on throughout the entirety of the presentation if you wanted to, or you can stop it now. So right now I'm going to go ahead and stop that, and we're going to move on.
Are you presenting from the standard or premium?
Premium. If you are familiar with Canva, you know that there are lots of extensions, tons of daily extensions. But just in case you're not familiar with Canva, the extensions are basically a way for you to easily access things. So some of my favorite extensions to use are the QR code generator. I use the remove background extension. I'll use YouTube, Google Drive, and Bitmoji. Those are my favorite extensions to use. However, you can see that there are tons of extensions to potentially pick from. So let me show you just really quick how I use it. So with Google Slides, if you want to insert a QR code, you're going to have to do one of two things. You're going to have to either download an extension, or you're going to have to go to a new tab, type in QR code generator, fill all of it out, download it, then upload it to your Google slide. With Canva, you go to QR code, or here, let's pretend that that's not there. We'll start from scratch. You'll just go to More, and under More, you'll see QR code. Click on it, and we'll just pretend I'm wanting to link this. Enter in my URL, generate code, and it's there. Super easy. It's a lot less having to go to new tabs, upload, then download. So much easier. And there are so many things like this through all of these extensions. So if you regularly use YouTube, which most people do, what I like about this feature is I can click anything and say I wanted to teach Marvel. We'll just throw that in there. It will instantly just upload it like that with the clip and everything. So you are easily able to access that without having to go through different tabs. Okay? One of my other favorite features that are on Canva, but it's not listed in extensions. So through COVID, I videoed a lot of my lessons, and I actually found that even though that was COVID, and COVID was a unique few years, I actually find myself still using things like Loom, or still using video recording softwares in my classroom. Every month, at the end of the month, I have students pick a journal, and they have to put it in MLA format, and they have to edit it. So instead of me teaching MLA format 9 times a year, and honestly, after about 2 times, the students somewhat get it. So they don't really need the video, or they don't need me to teach it to them. What I'll do is I'll record the lesson as I'm teaching it the first time. So it's right there. Right at the bottom of your screen, it's record a loop. As I'm teaching it, I can just instantly record. Just click on record a loom, and instantly your screen pops up and you're able to start recording yourself. That is such an easy way to just download those lessons. And then what I'll do is every month when the standard mastery journal entries are due, I'll have the video posted and they'll come in and then they watch the video if they need it. But most of them, like I said, after a few times they have it. They don't need to watch a 30-minute video again. They don't need it. So they won't. But for those kids who do, it's easily right there. So I really like this feature. So as you can see, there is my face for recording purposes. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on. Okay, so Canva charts is really cool if you are collecting data. If you're a math or science teacher, typically they use them a lot. So with Canva charts, what you do is you'll go to more, just like this, and you're gonna click on charts. All right, so pick your chart of choice. You can pick from any of those charts. Okay, so I have all of my data points right here. So all I have to do is just fill this out and it will instantly create the chart for me. So we'll say cookies and then chocolate. And chips. So do you see how it's adding it to the screen? It's already starting to add them on the sides over here. And it'll just instantly add it for you instead of having to go through and manipulate all of this information on Google Slides. It's super easy, super fast, and very efficient. And as teachers, we need all of the time that we can get. Okay, so this is one of my favorite teaching strategies, actually. So, PDFs, we use them constantly. So what I will do is I will have a PDF that when students click on it, it will take them directly to the links, and it won't be a link. So let me show you. Okay, so I made this on figurative language. Let's say I made this. Super, super cool. It has all of the details I need about figurative language as a study guide. Really cool. Well, when it's a PDF, I will link all of the links to the categories. So that way, I have a Quizlet for metaphors. Then for similes, I'll have a totally different thing. This is an extra website on how to get information for similes. This is super cool for study guide books. Any type of study resource that you want them to do. Sometimes I will create a PDF and then I'll share it out to my class and I will say, hey, I want you to find links to put on these because you need to learn how to research. You need to learn how to find information that's helpful for you. So this is a super cool feature. You can actually create like workbooks and have them go through it. Or you can upload a PDF of a textbook. We're going to get to that in a second. Have them go through the textbook and find additional resources for themselves. Really cool strategy. The kids really like it as well because it's personalized to them, and then they have it for when they go to study for their test. Okay, so this is where a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could do this. So any PDF that you can find on the internet, you can upload to Canva and manipulate it. Any PDF. I did not know that till like probably 2 weeks ago, and it has just rocked my world. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to go home. Okay, so we're at our home screen right now. You're going to go to create a design, and then you're going to import a file. When you import a file, you can click any PDF on your desktop. you'll click open. And you'll see right here, this is where it is uploading. So I'm gonna wait till that finishes uploading. Okay, so this is the PDF of the entire activity. I can go through, I can manipulate the words on that activity. I can manipulate the images on the activity. Anything I want to take out, I can take out. Anything I want to add in, I can add in. And this is a PDF. So sometimes I'll buy things off of Teachers Pay Teachers, and there might be a few questions that I don't want my kids to answer, or it might be a waste of time. Very easy way for me to go in and manipulate it, delete it, then I'll just download it to Google Classroom, and we're on our way. So some people are like, well, what if it's not, like what if it's something I've already created in Slides, or what if it's a slideshow that I've downloaded on Google Slides? From Google Slides, you can download it as a PDF, then upload it to Canva, if that makes sense. Okay.
So how are you editing it?
Okay, so when I go, let me zoom in for you. Okay. So I can click on any of these boxes, and it will allow me to edit the text from those boxes. Now, some of them are not, like some resources, they have what's called, they lock them. So some of them, they might not allow you to actually edit the text, but for a lot of them, you actually can just edit the text. It depends on if the owner has locked it. Some of the TPT resources, they are locked and you cannot do that. But for a lot of them, I found that they actually just, it'll upload it right to it.
Yeah, I was looking at a file that I scanned the form in Genius Scan on my phone as a PDF, uploaded, and entering it as an image file as opposed to a PDF.
I'll have to play around with that one. I haven't had that happen yet.
In those instances where the document is locked, could you say drop a text box on top of it, you know, fill it in white and top and
yeah. And like this one, I believe, is a locked document, but you still see I can move the text around. I can delete the text.
There you go.
So if I don't want the text on there, I could. It's just I couldn't change the words exactly.
Okay.
But I can definitely still manipulate the document. I just can't mess with the actual wording. So if I didn't want this change, say I had a student who didn't want, or who would get really distracted by it, just delete it. Anything in that PDF document. Any other questions? Yep.
That's cool.
Okay. All right, so templates. There are tons and tons and tons of different templates. That is what Canva is known for. They are known for their templates. You can use them for flyers for sports. You can use them for instructional purposes. You can use them for anything. So what I want to show you is first, any category that you have that you need a flyer or a presentation for, there are literally hundreds of them. And by using your premium education account, you get access to all of them. However, if there is something that you're wanting to create and you're not wanting to have to go and manipulate through all these different templates and all of the features they have, what I want to show you is beside this templates button, it's called layouts. Okay, so let's go to the end of my presentation. Okay, now I already have my template uploaded, right? Because I picked this specific one for my presentation, this template, right? However, when I went to layouts, notice it changed all of the colors in these to match my presentation template instantly. So instead of me going and erasing text, all I have to do is I get blank templates. It added everything to it. It customized literally as the rest of the presentation. So instead of having to go and click and delete all of these things you don't want, just go and click on layouts and it is going to allow you to customize it exactly as you want it. Okay? Okay, here's another big one. So you can download Canva presentations to Google Classroom and to Google Slides. A lot of people prefer to teach with Google Slides because they find it easier. So you can download your Canva presentations to Google Slide. There are just a few tricks that I have learned when I've been using Canva to create my presentations. So what I do is to go and make your presentation a Google Slide, you're going to go to Share. You're going to click on More. Then if you scroll down, you'll see Google Drive. Okay? When you click on Google Drive, these are all of my files on Google Drive up here. I have one that's titled My Lessons, and that is where I import all of my Canva lessons. So I'll just click there and choose this one. Now, here's the important step for this. Once you do that, where it says File Type, you are going to want to go to PowerPoint, PPT. That's the important step. If you do it as a PNG, you are going to have 12 different individual pages. You want to do PowerPoint so you can get all of your slides on one presentation. Make sure all of them are selected and save. Then all you'll do is just go in your Google Drive and it is on a Google slideshow for you. So I can click View in Google Drive. And there it is. Now, there is some things you should know before doing this. I upload my own fonts. I have some free fonts that I've uploaded. I will upload them. Several people are familiar with dufont.com. I love those fonts. So, that being said, the fonts that you upload are not going to transfer. So notice my Canva and Google Slides, it did not transfer. But any font that's usually included in Canva will transfer. So that's just something to be cautious of if you do plan on using that in this way. Your uploaded fonts will not transfer as easily, but Canva fonts, you should have no problem transferring those over. And then it's right there for your kids to look at, manipulate, however you want to use that in your room. Also notice that when you put it on Google Slides, you can still edit it through Google Slides. That was a big thing as well. Okay.
So I would just like to thank you for letting me know that there's free teacher access to premium, because I've had to backdoor so many things, like using third-party sites to make transparent backgrounds and stuff like that, because I'm cheap and don't want to pay $10 a month for premium.
Remove background is honest.
I know, you just made my life.
Okay, so then I have like 2 more things I think, and then we're finished. So the first thing is collaborate. So Shannon, Carter, and I, we coach volleyball together. And the volleyball flyers we posted literally all over the building, but that was a collaborative effort between Shannon and I. She has the details of what we're doing, and I just kind of like to design things. So with that being said, for collaborate, you can share a Canva page. Say I wanted to share with Ms. Parker. All I would have to do is click share and just type in Ms. Parker's email. And Ms. Parker and I can work in real time just like you can on a Google slide on the same document. So for instance, Shannon was typing in information, I was going through and making things pretty, and we could still work together on the same project. Really cool, and since kids are so visual and so graphic and just, they're not gonna do something if it doesn't look cool to them. Very cool feature. You can have students do this, because like I said, students get that free account as well. So students, if you want them to work together on a project, hey, create a poster for this book. Hey, do this, or give me an infographic. Students can actually share and manipulate these designs as well. So that is something that I think is very cool. If you do have uploaded fonts, the fonts will also transfer. So that's really cool to know that your fonts are good to go. Okay. And then what I have here is an interactive PDF of commonly used teacher shortcuts. When we upload the presentation to the RMS dashboard, this shortcut, if you click on any of these, you can actually get access to it. So let me go back to present. Okay, so when I click on these, let's say I want to do a certificate, which I have to do for the 8th grade awards. It'll instantly take me to all of these cool certificates that I can choose from any of these. It's all different styles. So I went ahead and included that for you because I think that it is very cool. These are some daily ones, daily agendas, brainstorming, worksheets, which I don't use their worksheets, but that's something you're needing. And then these are student design activities. So these are things that, okay, I am honestly going to step back. I'm going to let the students learn. I'm going to let the students work together. So I might have them create comics, or I might have them do Flipgrid, or I might have them do graphic organizers. And here are all the different options. You can just keep on going. Like, there are so many. So I just included this because I think that it's very important just to see some of the very easy ways you can work with it.